Hello, welcome back to Cosmic Communications. Today we are wrapping up these beautiful messages and cycle with the Amazonite crystal and its helper, the Aqua Aura Quartz. We are going to tap into the messages of spontaneity from the frequency of the aquamarine, as well as the message to transmute. And as we go into this new season, we are wrapping up this beautiful cycle that we've experienced with Asar and the Libra and Aries aspect, really guiding us to come more and more and more into our authenticity, into our highest timelines, to keep on rising, right? To do so with reverence and acknowledgement of the matriarchal spirit, to use our hearts and our strength and our voices to come into more harmony and healing for ourselves as well as for the collective. And as we wrap up this beautiful cycle, I could not and I did not want to dismiss these last two cards. Again, the messages of spontaneity and transmutation. And as I've been experiencing this cycle, the Libra and Aries aspect and the season of Asar, 838 code has been coming through strong. I see it all the time, as well as I've been really been focused on and manifesting these and connecting with these sacred times: 111, 222, 333, 444, 555. It's been a plethora of numerical messages coming to me and numerical codes, and they have been guiding me through the month as well. So I also want to talk about that H38 code and what I've experienced this month, and really having that code to kind of pull it all together for me. And there was a African folklore that I came across, which is about the chameleon and the hare. And the hare is also a symbol, or one of Asar's symbols, the hare animal. So when I was tapping into that folklore the other day and I looked at the time, it ended that message at exactly 8:38. And that folklore is really about when do we change and when do we stand in our dominant non-changing self, right? So that's a combination of, not changing, but also knowing when to change, or knowing when to not go with the flow so much, but to stand in your power, so and standing in your power and going with the flow can be one of the same, but it can also be something different, right? So just that combination of again, knowing when to stay in your constant, and I want to say resonance. I don't know if that's even the right word, but stay in your staying in what, in your dominance. I don't know if that's even the word. What's coming to me is that indomitable spirit, that type of strength, the strength that cannot be denied, the strength that no one can take away from you, but also using that strength to know when it's time to be flexible and time to go into something new. And I think it's just that power of that, the power of those two numbers, and the power of that that duality that you can experience within yourself of, hey, this is me and this is what you're going to get, but as well as being adaptable in situations where it's required for you to be adaptable, as well as knowing, and this is where we go into the multidimensionality. It's not just black and white. It's not going to be one or the other, but it's this integration of everything. And as we expand and see more, you realize it's more than two-sided, right? So part of being integrated is seeing that, okay, I need to be one thing, but as well as I need to be something else, right? And coming into union. And I guess that's the beauty of the 333, is that it's that integration of two things. So that 838 code was coming to me a lot. And from when I'm gathering from it, and when I'm holding from it and holding on to with it as I move forward through these cycles, is that yes, there will be moments where I have to remain the same and stay in my grounded, rooted, inherited, innate strengths, as well as there are times where I'm going to have to use that as an anchor as I flow through what is new. And there are times where I do not need to change. I do not need to budge. I do not need to submit, but rather to stand strong. So it's that combination again of being in flow, but as well as being in your own authenticity. And our individual authenticity is something that we can stand on, right? So it's a combination of both that. The chameleon that is always changing, and the hare that isn't so known to change so much. And which one of those animal spirits do you really need to adopt? That nature of the chameleon, who can be camouflaged and disguised into any environment? Or do you need to stand in your being and knowing that, hey, this is me? And again, the word indomitable keeps on coming to mind, right? So I'm going to post, I cut and paste some stuff from it. So I might add that into the description part, as well as, if I can, link the channel, because with this new channel, I'm not sure if I can add additional links. But I have been tapping into the House of Horus. I'll just put that out there so it's on the video, even if I can't. It's another YouTube channel. Even if I can't add the link, at least I'll be able to give that information here. It's the House of Horus, and they have a beautiful, beautiful inventory and selection of videos that one can really absorb and find their cells with it, as well as grow with it, shed with it, and rise with it. So that's a new channel that I have come into contact with, and it's been guiding me and supporting me throughout the month. So I just wanted to share that with y'all as well. So let's get into this. And like I said, we are wrapping up this beautiful cycle, and we're stepping into a brand new cycle tomorrow with the Scorpio energy. But we are also carrying forward everything that we have grown to be, and everything that we have healed to be and to become more of, right? So let's get into it. The messages of transmutation, the messages of spontaneity with the aquamarine ray, as well as the 838 code. And I'm going to bring forth, actually, since I started with that, let's just continue. I'm just going to bring forth this message of the 8, because from one of my galactic books, because it really has this combination of the 8 and the 3 and the 8. And literally, it wasn't until I said, you know what, I'm going to do this video today, and I was guided to come to get the information from the galactic book. And when I looked at the the sigil for the 8 in the galactic language, it is the 5 and the 3. And again, it's it carries that same code, and I'll just put it there, right? The 3 and the 5 equaling 8, right? So that 838. So that 3 is there. And I'll read to you what it says. It says, pierced by the harmonic of the one heart, you sing ecstasy's song. Join in singing the dream awake. Qualities: empowerment, galactic grid, path of the one heart, and the solar passage. And I'm just going to read like the first paragraph, and it really brings in again this 838 message into you and into me. It says 8 is the ray of harmonic resonance, the foundation of self combined with the current of the Trinity. It is love made visible. Create the flow of harmony in your life. Enter the spiral frequencies of the greater galactic grid. You are being offered empowerment through your innate resonance. Yes, I said that word was coming in. That innate resonance with this grid. I'll repeat that. You are being offered empowerment through your innate resonance with this grid. Be aware of where you are drawn and invited. For there you will find unique opportunities. Discover the harmony of being in this natural resonance with others. Be receptive. You are the diviner of harmony, the meeting ground of physical reality and the infinite. Bring a deeper harmony to the practical circumstances in which you find yourself. Free the ego from its self-centeredness. Embrace the potent energies that are raising the harmonic frequencies of the planet. Breathe easily. You are the song being sung by the new golden octave. Sound the resonant tone of the one heart. 8 is the number of solar passage into a higher octave of being. Its shape symbolizes as above, so below, in ever successively higher spirals of consciousness. 8 represents the completion of 7-fold evolutions, heralding the way for the earth to move into a 12-fold spiral of solar evolution. And I have that fire in the back for the transmutation. And again, this combination of 8 and the 3, and what I was getting from it was the 3 was the catalyst, right? 3 again being that energy that moves us forward. And I'll just go into the 3 energy here and just see what that is, because I love the synchronicities that just came out, and I read the whole thing. 3 is rhythm, right? Well, while 8 is harmonic resonance. That's why that name resonance was coming to me. So 3 is rhythm, right? And I would add the catalyst energy. So luminous triangle made visible. Feel the pulse of the sacred current calling you home. Qualities, movement, change, flow, current, creativity, integration, sacred Trinity, comfort in change, non-struggle, floating downstream, non-resistance, cooperative alliances. 3 is the ray of rhythm, the galactic heartbeat of natural flow. This universal river offers you movement, and all possibilities flow within its pulse. Open yourself to its current of change. Become comfortable with the process of transformation. Float downstream in non-resistance to what is being offered for your growth in daily life. Struggle itself is an indication of the functioning of ego rather than your essence, which knows that in truth, flow in change is the nature of reality. Drawing the number 3 suggests that there is something you desire to change or integrate into the natural flow of your life. Become the third point of light created from the integration of polarity. Feel the pulse of the sacred Trinity within you, revealing a new creation. Allow it to integrate that which has seemingly been lost, separated, or obscured from your sight. If you have a tendency to be scattered in your creativity, focus your creative energy. Align with your intentions to express your truth. Now is the time for the great mystery to reveal itself through you. Know yourself as the capstone of light. Allow your creativity to express the beauty and inspiration of your spiritual journey. That is so beautiful. And this is just, the sigil for the 3, just showing you that there, just in case it brings any synchronicities to you. So while I was receiving that and reading that, just merging it in with my own experiences this month, it's literally, now I can see why that 838 code even more clearer was coming to me. It is reminding you to, and look at that triangle, right? The catalyst of the fire, the triangle. And it is pulling us and reminding us to create that new thing, to allow the new thing, the new birth, the new creation to come into being, right? To go forth and create that beyond your past duality, to reach that point that you couldn't go to before. And even look at the spontaneity card. It has the triangle on that again, right? So we have the 2 points. With the 2 points, they are coming together and they create a third point beyond, right, where they were able to reach before. It's an extension, an expansion. Something new is being created, and that's the beautiful essence of the 3, right? So here we are as we come into the Scorpio season, right? And again, the matriarch and that healing energy, right? So where are we now? What is your healed self saying to you? What is your aligned self saying to you? What is your matriarchal spirit? What is that saying to you, right? The ancestors, your strong, wise female ancestors, what are they all saying to you? And what is it now that you are to bring forth and create at this new level? We've been preparing ourselves to stand on our new platforms, and now we are here. So now we have to also create on this new platform. And are we creating in harmony? Are we creating with power? Are we creating with truth? Are we creating with strength? For whom we are now, the new self, not the old self. All right. So as we step into the new season, and of course tomorrow I'll have a new crystal and probably commune and meditate with it for a while before I bring it out to you. But I will definitely be getting that new crystal message tomorrow. And we will continue the exploration with the crystals, right? But here we are again at the end of this beautiful cycle with the guidance of Asor and the Libra and Aries aspects, the quarter moon, the first quarter moon, pushing us forward with those action steps, as well as the beautiful full moon and super full moon that we had last week, as right before we wrap up this season and head into the new season. So let's get this message of, I want to start with the transmute, and then I'll go into spontaneity. Yeah, let's go that way. It's the aquamarine ray, which I feel very close to because, it's part of the 8th. Aquamarine is one of those colors in the flag, in my country, in the Bahamas flag, as well as it's one of those colors that goes with the 8th chakra, the soul star chakra. And we are also, Bahamas is on the 8th chakra, and the ley lines, right? The soul star chakra. So this energy feels very much at home. I feel very much at home with this aquamarine ray, and I feel like that's why I'm being called to bring it forth even more. If I could just find it in the book, which I have it here. So let me just start with that. I was actually looking for the peacock ray, the feather peacock. And I was gifted Oh, here it is. I'll start with that. I was gifted. Actually, I'm going to end with that because that's the last card of the deck. So, I was gifted with a peacock ore, which is right here, for my birthday this year by one of my favorite crystal jewelry makers. I've been wearing her crystals for about a year or two now, and I love her work. She's on Facebook as well. Her name is Jess, and the piece of art in the back came from James. They are two new Facebook friends that I connected with, I think last year, and I've been buying crystals from her and crystal necklaces, and I just started buying his art. He's a fireman, and part of his passion is photography and taking beautiful, making beautiful art, and he makes beautiful art with his art, with his work. So I'm featuring both of their beautiful creations today. So let's tap into these messages of spontaneity and the peacock feather, the message to transmute. Fluidity, joy, playfulness, present moment, whimsy, and laughter. Those are the messages from the aquamarine ray, and the messages from the sacred peacock feather of transmutation is to sanctify, to honor, to gift, to offer gratitude, to adore, and to flow. So yes, we'll start with spontaneity and we'll end with the sacred tool of the peacock feather. Receiving this aqua turquoise frequency in your reading is an invitation to more playfulness and spontaneity in your expression. Use this aqua frequency in your environment and attire when joyful energy needs an upgrade, or to receive the many delightful, uplifting gifts and qualities of this vibration. Perhaps your life has lost its effervescent bubbles in dulling routines, or with your consistent focus on productive pursuits and future outcomes. If so, you would be served in taking a day off, letting it all go to just be, without the outside demands that pull you away from the present moment. Honestly, ask yourself, what am I avoiding feeling or looking at by not stopping and becoming fully available and vulnerable to the present moment and those I find in it? Run your query through a joy filter. Are your current choices moving you closer or further away from your authentic, joyful expression? Drawing this card indicates that you may have fallen into the quicksand of being too serious. If so, put on a funny hat. Measure time in giggle bites. Send predictability off to find a new job. Put Swiss cheese in the heating vents of your expectations and firecrackers in the mailbox of your routines. Be improbable, unpredictable. Wake everyone up in the household for a tea party in the middle of the night. Court whimsy by making spontaneous choices. Let laughter lead you to what is real in the moment. Surprise even yourself. Inspiration flows in direct proportion to the openness that spontaneity creates. I'm going to repeat that. Surprise even yourself. Inspiration flows in direct proportion to the openness that spontaneity creates. Feel the joyful energy that is the natural expression of this frequency. Joy is your birthright. Ashe. And that's where we started with this beautiful Amazonite crystal, is what is your birthright, right? And tapping into the birthright, right? The matriarch. That was a trending word through this whole cycle, our birthrights, and have we claimed our birthrights through the matriarchal spirits. If your life is not generally flowing in joy, during this frequency challenges you to discover what changes need to occur in your life to bring you into a more authentic expression of your essence, to experience and share your natural gifts and talents. So the oracle asks, what is revealed about what you are genuinely presently feeling by looking through the lens of the frequency of aquamarine? Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Well, I hope this cycle really allowed you to be spontaneous and that you experience some bubbles. I just love that, because yesterday I went to a food festival and I had a beautiful time, and we as we left, well, the kids were blowing bubbles everywhere, and as we left, we walked into the array of bubbles, and I was able to take a picture in the bubbles, and my friend, and there was something about the bubbles, and I just was like, the bubbles, because I think something else I read the other day, and had that energy of the bubbles. So I just knew I needed to take a picture in the bubbles, and I did. And even my post this morning, I said, may the day end with bubbles. And here is this bubble reference again. So the lightness of the bubbles as well. Bubbles have that light in it. You can see the rainbow light reflection in bubbles, right? And bubbles are it's airiness, right? And sometimes we experience bubbles when we're deep in the water, right? Because bubbles is that energy of the oxygen and the water, right? And the lightness and being able to flow up and be light, right? And spontaneity, right? And tapping into that energy of spontaneity, right? So think about the bubbles, then the joy. Literally, can you talk about bubbles without being happy? I don't think so. Right? And the kids are the reminders for us to play and to be bubbles, right? To bring that joy of bubbles back into your life. All right. So as we wrap up this interesting month of October, and it definitely enlightening and strengthening. It was a very strengthening and forming month, right? And more revelations and more shedding and more rising is coming, and we definitely had to be strong and stand our ground, right, during this month as we see everything that is happening around us. The hurricanes came in, the weather was speaking to us, the ancestors, that ancestral energy, cleaning us out and cleansing us and literally sweeping the lands, right, with waters and fires, and really creating, releasing to create and make new space for us to build, right, to build through. And we had the beautiful, it's a lot of A's, right? We had the Amazonite, we had the Aqua Aura Quartz, we had the guidance of Asar, we had the full moon in Aries, we had the comet, the A3 comet. It's a lot of A's, right? And a new thing trending around me is just this word amazing, right? Amazing Amazonite. The amazing Amazonite has done its job. So let's wrap it up with this message from the sacred tool of the peacock feather. Two of my favorite things, peacock colors and feathers. I love a feather or two. Right? And let's see what this message is. It is to sanctify, to honor, to gift, to offer gratitude, to adore, and to flow. And before I even get into this message, let's look at this number 6 again. Remember, the aqua aura quartz it had a lot of 6 energy, and the first card I read was number 35, and it was the 35th crystal, which is 8. All of this is coming in together right now, right? So again, we're creating, and we're rising into our strength, right? And we're coming into harmonic convergence. And that 6 energy again is creation, and we're rising and we're building, and we're standing on the platform of our new, but whole, strong, empowered self, right? And we have built these platforms. So now we feel more comfortable in our growth, right? In what we have become, in what we have built. We are standing on a stronger, wiser platforms, right? And that's what we're walking forward with, that wisdom and that strength. And that's what we're speaking, because we speak things into existence, right? So we're speaking with that tongue of healing. We're speaking with that tongue of strength. We're speaking with that tongue of love, right? With the throat chakra, with the heart chakra, with our solar plexus chakra. As we wear our new coats and we put on our new hats, or we straighten up our crowns. I was just reminding somebody today that we're not going to let our crowns fall, and we're going to stay on the throne that we have placed ourselves on through our work, right? And through our words and through our wisdom, right? So we are tapping into this beautiful matriarchal spirit, but we are integrating that into who we are now, right? We're walking with the matriarchs, right? All right, so let's just get into it again. To sanctify, right? To honor. And as we walk with those matriarchal spirits with us, we are honoring that, right? And we are offering gratitude, and we are stepping into feeling comfortable with being adored, right? And allowing our adorations to come forth. And we are flowing with what is meant to come in, and we are flowing with what is meant to leave, okay? So drawing this card in your reading points toward radical change. This change may unfold rapidly, like a time-lapsed photo of a flower blooming, rather than an ordered incremental way. Transmutation is a change in form, appearance, structure, or nature. It is often an external change that may have been brewing internally for a long time. This archetype invites you to feel and surrender to the directions proffered by the swift rivers of change in your life. You're being asked to recognize and not fear that, in truth, constant change is all there is. Acceptance of that as a fact of this reality frees you to more fully experience life. When a spiritual illumined person touches you with the full force of awareness, those A's are coming in again: awareness, authenticity, acceptance. It can spark an alchemical change in your physical being. In the Hindu tradition, the process is called darshan and is symbolized by the touch of a peacock feather on the crown of the head. Peacocks hold a great mystery, in addition to their display of outrageous beauty. They do not die from ingested toxins. They literally transmute poisons. Ashe. And we are stepping into the Scorpion season. And I've been saying it this morning a couple times. I said, it's the scorpion it represents, it has that bite and the poison, but it also holds the cure. And I was sharing with a friend who came by this morning. I said, we are now walking in the curing and the healing. We're not in that poisoned aspect anymore, right? So I love this. And as we transition into the Scorpio season, being able to experience it with the better side of it, the illumined side, right? The transmutation side without the toxins, right? This sacred tool represents the transmutation of something that has been toxic in your life. This archetype asks, what poison are you choosing to transmute at this time? Receiving this card in your reading encourages you to drop expectations, stop struggling or moving against the flow. The hashtag for this cycle, we are saying no disruptions and no distractions, right? So what is stopping you? And stop struggling. What's stopping you and what are you struggling with that is helping you to move against your flow as opposed to helping you to move towards more flow and sacred alignment, right? So when I say no distractions, that's what I mean. What is distracting you from being in your fullness and being in your alignment and being in sacred flow? And we know it, right? We know it, we feel it, we see it. So deal with it, right? The energy of this tool counsels you to accept what is. Tell yourself the truth and move on. That's dealing with it. Consider your query in this light, this consciousness. This card also reminds you to slow down and take time to celebrate life. It invites you to recognize and revel in the magnificence, gifts, and beauty of yourself and others, which can be a powerfully transforming act when archetypally offered in the full presence of you sanctifying love. I'll read that again. This card also reminds you to slow down and take time to celebrate life. It invites you to recognize and revel in the magnificence, gifts, and beauty of yourself and others, which can be a powerfully transforming act when archetypically offered in the full presence of your sanctifying love. When was the last time you took time to really honor someone with the adoring love, appreciation, or gratitude that all life thrives on? What or whom is calling for the gift of your honoring? Transmute. Well, there, set 3717. That message ended on that tone in terms of sacred times. 3717. Well, there we are. This is the quest that we can give ourselves for the Scorpio season, and that I felt it was a bridge, and I think it is. That is the perfect bridge for us to step into this new Scorpio season with, right? The sacred tool. The tool of the sacred peacock feather. I love it. I love it. I love it. And let's walk into this beautiful new season and wrap up this beautiful old season of the Libra and the Aries, and walk into the new season, the new Scorpio season. And let's walk with our crowns, right? That came back up again too, right? The crown, it says, in the Hindu tradition, the process is called darshan and is symbolized by the touch of a peacock feather on the crown of the head, right? So, and even that Amazonite, right? That picture there, there's something on top of the head. So walk with your crowns, kings and queens, and stay seated and placed on your throne. I was working with the energy of Ya Santewa from Ghana, And, you know, her goddess, yeah, Santigua, that energy came in, and that warrior woman spirit, a lot of the warrior woman spirits have been coming to me, and she represents the golden stool, right? And that strength of identity and that respect. Karma, someone's home. And that respect for self and respect for community, right? So wear your crowns and stand on your and sit on your golden stools, and you know, flow when you need to flow, but be dominant and be strong and speak your truth and your honesty when you need to, right? And enjoy this new cycle. And thank you for joining me on the Amazonite and the Aqua Aura and the season of a quartz, season of Azor and the Aqua Aura quartz. And Karma, hey, sorry. And, you know, as we wrap up and as we step into this new cycle, you know, take your strength and your wisdom with you, right? Wear your crowns and stand with your authentic, integrated, harmonic self, right? See you in a couple of weeks or a couple of days, right? When I bring out the new crystal. Have a beautiful, beautiful evening. Bye. My name is Akita Akari Aurora.